Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Chris LaSalle. I'm the lead mentor of the Robo Dominators, part of about a 3,000 teams that are currently competing. There's about 7 or 8,000 registrations that have been around for about 20 to 25 to 30 years. So I'm the lead mentor for electromechanical, and we were established in 2012 through a STEM school operation, science, technology out of University of New Haven High School. What you see here is it's very student-oriented uh, builds for robotics competitions that are unveiled once a year, and we have about approximately 6 weeks to build these robots. So these students were part of our first year. These are actually a second-year robot, but this is part of our first-year students. And you'll see that as they go along in the season, we get a theme. We're told what the game's going to be, and we have to design our robots around the game and the theme. You'll see different objects, different objectives that are met, and we try to do that with the critical thinking of the students involved. Some of these students right now are our mentors. These are have become our mentors. This group right here was our last season that we actually played before the COVID hit, and you can see how very integrated these robots are with sensors. Uh, this is our most sensor heavy. They have inertial navigation systems, pneumatic systems, rise and lift. We actually have Java programming where the systems figure out how to lift a robot. So we use MakeHaven as our space because the schools are becoming harder and harder to occupy their space, and COVID now is wreaking havoc, as you know, with schools and space. So we held our kickoff, and we attract about 14 to 20 students a season. We also use CAD design. We actually use MakeHaven's materials, such as the Markforged printer. We figured that we can use lighter materials because we have weight limits on how much our robots can build. So weight's critical a lot of time, and also it's a competitive advantage. So this is a block that we used to hold pneumatic systems on there. So coming to MakeHaven has been a huge advantage to us, and other teams are doing that. Like I said, we have electrical and programming, and here I am showing students how to hook up into the computer system, electronics, wiring, making sure the wiring is legal for the competition because we get inspected heavily for safety and making sure everything is put together properly so the competition doesn't have any issues. What you see here is our first year robot, and we over-designed it, and it became it worked, but it was very heavy. And then 2 weeks later, at another competition, we designed the robots you see toward the right, and we were fairly successful, but it was a dumb robot. We've been trying to achieve goals of creating sophisticated robots as we've gone along. Here we are, have a father and son team. He started when he was freshman. This gentleman on the right, Matt, just graduated. He's a senior this year, and he's a mentor on the team. And his father's staying with the team. So we're trying to build not only just students to be able to learn how to do um, design theory and all that kind of stuff, but we have parents involved in bringing them as mentors. Half our mentors are from Sikorsky. I'm from Sikorsky Aircraft. And if you look at the electronics table behind that they're working, you can see that's the sophistication. We have a sensor below here that is a ultrasonic sensor. We use that to let the robot know that it has captured an object, a ball. They do different competitions, frisbees and so forth. But what was good with our team, which is different from other teams, we try not to be a mentor-only team that builds robots. The kids get involved, troubleshooting, fixing. One year we had two females. We found that they were fantastic as far as getting team motivated to build. So we look for diversity and we spot the people that have potential. And the year before we had two captains that were male and female, and one's a programmer. So like I said, we programmed this young gentleman on the left. He started as a freshman, was a godsend to us because he just understood Java and picked it up right away. And he's the sole reason why we got about 95% of our electronic goals and sensor goals put together. And every year we try to find better ways to do things. So if you see here, up top is the computer control system, motor control, power. It runs off 12 volts of battery, 12-volt system. It's CAN networked, just like you would see in your cars to control. Very sophisticated. And also, like I said, we have inertial navigation, optical. We're working with LiDAR now for field positioning. And if you see here on this robot, actually it was very heavy, so we see a lot of holes. We actually overbuilt it. We were about 15 pounds over, so we drilled out the holes. But you see that green light on there is a targeting camera, and it will follow you if it's follow any target. We had this thing. If you've seen it, some of you that were at the shop last winter, we had a robot following us around the shop. So again, this robot actually we won a second place in Waterbury. They put teams together as an alliance, and your objective is who's got the strengths and weaknesses that contain the various goals, because there's a lot. It's a 3-ring circus. And then back in the pits, it's like NASCAR, and you're going from Friday till Sunday. This particular event, there was a climbing event, and our robot, we designed it to be able to climb and hit this light up here. And we got it to pick up about 90 pounds of robot in 4 seconds off the ground, about to hit the light about 4.5 feet, 5 feet off the ground. So the competition is pretty tense. It's like going to any basketball or varsity sport. Here's our robot. You can see this thing went up about 9 feet in the air to drop these cubes onto an objective. And we don't have the whole field, but you can see they have referees. They give you yellow cards, red cards for violations. Robots get pinned, and also that's not intentional, but robots do get damaged and fall apart. This is our robot from this season. We actually sitting upstairs right now, incomplete because of COVID, and graciously that first is allowing us to reset the season with some modifications. So our intent is to finish the robot and get this thing rolling in the next few weeks before the season, test and get our drivers set up and everything. So that's my presentation. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. If you see me around the shop, we dominate the MakeHaven from January to about February or March. So you can see that you'll see us around. So please stop by and say hello. If you want to be a mentor and have any skills you want to bring to the table, we have some MakeHaven mentors. Please join in. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.